Aquarius, this is going to be your December 2018 general reading. And so, happy holidays, you guys, or happy winter solstice. I suppose if someone lived in Australia, it's the opposite, right? There's summer there instead of winter. Okay, so for your Celtic cross spread, as usual, I'm using the spiral deck. And for December's clarifiers, I'm using this really beautiful deck. It's not a traditional tarot deck at all. It's actually an astrological deck of astrological oracle cards. And this is it's an Art Nouveau deck, which is absolutely gorgeous looking. So I'm just going to go ahead and show you your cards. You actually ended up with 12 cards because your central experience for December ended up to be 2 cards that came out together. You have the Knight of Cups and the Angel Temperance as your main experience for December. Looks pretty nice to me. And what is your challenge in this situation is the Star. What is helping you is the Sun. At the root of your being, here it is again, you guys. You've had this ongoing Ace of Pentacles for many, many months now. You have the Ace of Pentacles at your root. Your recent past, you have the Princess of Swords. Your best possible outcome is the Six of Swords. In the near future, you have Strength. You have 2 Leo cards in here. Yeah. You right now, this is concerning me, are the 3 of Swords. In your surroundings, here she is again. You've had her quite a bit too. The Queen of Pentacles. Your hopes are for the 10 of Cups. And your general outcome is the Queen of Cups. Okay. Oh, just so you guys know, because things have been tight for me and extremely busy in a lot of different ways, I can't promise that I'm going to be putting out bonus readings indefinitely, probably until January. My financial situation should improve by January or February, and when that happens, I'm going to be putting more effort into this channel. I don't even really know how you guys found me in the first place, since I'm not hooked up to social media at all. I've had such wonderful, loyal subscribers and people who have been watching this, and I have no idea how you guys found me, but I'm glad that you found me. And I'm thinking probably in February or January, I should be able to hook this channel up to Instagram and a couple of other things so that it gets more traffic. So, your central experience for December seems to be about emotionally staying calm and positive. I feel as though you have gotten back in touch with your dreams or your hopes for the future, and you want to follow your heart. You feel very deeply about something, either pursuing a dream or a relationship or a project, just something that you want to do or something that you're seeking in your life. You're seeking more emotional connection, faith, optimism, just calmer waters. Yeah, you're hoping to stay balanced, stay positive, and believe that your dreams are possible, or that it's been, I'm getting something really specific here. I'm getting that you've gotten too set in your routines or too logical in general, and it's time for you to get back in touch with your heart chakra again and what truly matters to you in your life. Connections with other people, being grateful for the good things in your life, and feeling as though life is an adventure. And if there has been upsets in the past, it looks as if you are learning how to regulate yourself where you stay positive instead of allowing things to knock you off balance so much. You want to start new routines in your life that open up doorways for you. You're also getting spiritual help with this. Perhaps your guides are urgently pushing you forward. It's almost as if you got too apathetic or too not connected to your emotional body, and they want to see you get reconnected. But in any case, this is really just a feeling of love, connection, sensitivity, dreams, and also remaining calm and positive no matter what happens around you, as much as humanly possible anyway. You may even have Sagittarians or Jupiterians in your life that are bringing you a great deal of love, sensitivity, and faith, of combining forces with other people too, towards a common dream, something like that. This can be new love too, staying positive about new love, or love beginning again in your heart if your heart has felt a little bit empty in the past or hurt in the past. My dog's freaking out. I've got to go. I'll be right back. Okay. He's inside now, and I think he's going to take a nap, so hopefully we won't have any issues. This is really interesting. I've been pleasantly surprised so far by the readings for this month. It's definitely a different theme than it has seemed to be. This is interesting. This is what is your challenge this month, and they're both you. You've got the Star card, which is an Aquarian Major Arcana card, and out of my astrological deck, guess what? You got Aquarius. Look, it's you. Here, let me hold it this way. At least then they're kind of looking at each other. I got something really specific with this, and I don't know where this is coming from, but apparently this is going on for a lot of you. Is you may be a challenge to yourself. Either you haven't felt as if you have been yourself enough, or you've been yourself too much. You do have your opposite in here, which is I find fascinating because I just did the Pisces reading and they had an emphasis on their opposite, Virgo, in their reading, as well as their own energy. And I'm kind of getting a similar message here. For some of you, you haven't been yourself enough, and by that I mean your positive traits. All the signs have positive and negative traits. Nobody is perfect. We all have our faults and our good points. The good points of Aquarius is things like humanitarianism, being open-minded, being an inventive thinker, being directly connected to the process of creative invention, and also wanting to spread knowledge and information to other people, to be connected not only to other people and animals and this planet, but also to all of creation, which is why it is the star card. Aquarian energy is actually in February, and it is the opposite of Leo, which you have in this reading. Leo represents the full height of summer when it is its hottest and warmest, and you guys represent the heart of winter when it is the most cold. And you guys are ruled by eagle energy, which looks at things from a very high vantage point that isn't necessarily all that connected in the everyday smaller things. You guys look at things on a very large scale that sometimes can be considered cold. But really it's looking at things from a much larger perspective and more of an objective standpoint. Aquarius, also the star, and Aquarius rules things like hope for the future, hope for humankind. It rules things like altruism, humanitarianism, reaching out to the world around you. The negative points of Aquarius is sometimes it becomes so separated that, or objective or distant, that it almost feels as though you came from a different planet and you don't feel connected to what's around you. So for some of you, your challenge is you need to get back in touch with your hopes and dreams and humanitarian nature. Get back in touch with your wisdom and your knowledge and hope. Optimism. Also group situations, working with groups, working with other people, combining forces with other people. For some of you, it may be that your challenge is you have become too much yourself in the way that you have gotten too cold without possibly realizing it. Or you have become too disconnected. Keep in mind your opposite is Leo, which is the heart. Aquarius is the mind. It may be that you have gotten too much involved with your mind and not enough with your opposite, the heart. Those two energies have to work together in order to bring the best magic about for yourself and for others. So your challenge may be you don't feel right in your own skin this month, or something is off, or you feel too disconnected, or too disconnected from your own hopes and wishes. And possibly, I suppose for some of you, you may have some challenges with friendships, or your challenge may be finding the right friends or the right people to combine forces with. So let's move on. And this is what is helping you, is the sun. So what I'm getting is that for a lot of you, it may be that you have become too locked up in a distant way of perceiving things, and you have lost some connection with your heart chakra or your own personal passion, as well as possibly even some of you may have been working too much with other people and focusing on other people too much, where you've lost sight of what you want as an individual. Or you may have lost sight of your own ego. Ego being a neutral word, that means sense of self. It doesn't have to be looked at as a negative thing at all. Everybody needs a healthy ego in order to be a human being. You need to get back in touch with your ego. You need to get back in touch with who you are and feel warm. I feel as though you have gotten too cold or too distant, and now it's time for you to warm up, to get back in touch with connection and love and full expression of your own innate gifts. To feel energized and to acknowledge yourself for all of your great gifts and what you contribute. To feel part of something again, or to feel warm again. With this, you have Mars. So, taking action on your creativity, being assertive about who you are and what you need, being assertive and active and upfront about what is in your heart and how you feel. You know, this month, your central experience is to stay calm and follow your dreams and follow your heart chakra. Your challenge is you may have become too locked up in your own head, or you may have become too stagnant in how you see things or perceive things, where you are not aware of what's truly available to you. You may have boxed yourself in your own mind. And so now it's saying what is helping you is to just do something. Stop thinking. Stop assessing. Stop trying to figure things out. Instead, force yourself to do something. And force yourself to do something creative. And if you have been wanting to do something really creative for a long time now is the time to do it, and just do it. You're never going to know everything there is to know about whatever this is. You just need to do it, and you will learn as you go. For some of you, you may have a passion for somebody. But whatever your passions are, whatever makes your heart come alive and makes you feel vibrant, you need to go after it. That's the Mars I'm seeing here. You need to take action and go after it and not overthink yourself or even think at all. Just do it. So, at your root, ta-da, you have the Ace of Pentacles again. You are ready to plant this seed if you haven't planted it already. Seems as though Aquarians out of the entire collective seems to have been so driven to plant new seeds or new ways that are more sustainable, more natural, more that can eventually grow into something that is good for everybody and that feeds everything. I know this is sounding a little bit, philosophical. I'm coming from a large place when I'm saying these things, but you can also take it down to the human level, as in starting a new relationship, starting a new business, starting a new something that you are manifesting. You've been wanting to do this for a very long time, and you've been ready to plant it for a long time. Some of you have planted these things already. Some of you still haven't. But this is at your core now. So it feels as though, for whatever reasons, I'm getting that the seed is you, and you are growing. You are growing a new you, or you're understanding things in a different way now that broadens your mind and makes you much more imaginative and inspiring than before. With this can be a new home, can be a lot of things. You're ready to plant now. With it, you have Aries, and this is the second Mars-ruled card you have as a clarifier in here. It seems as though if you're ever going to do this, you need to do this now. This is your chance. December is your chance to do this. Come hell or high water. Doesn't matter what is in your way. It seems as though what is in your way is yourself at this point. And so you just need to do it. Doesn't matter if you're ready or not. You know what you want. You've been wanting this for a long time now. You just need to do it. You're never going to be an expert before you begin. You become an expert by doing it. So you need to take action. If this is a relationship thing, it's most definitely telling me you need to do something. And this is kind of reminding me of this as your central experience. If this does have to do with love for some of you, you need to do something. You need to ask them out or say how you feel or take action in one way or another. Okay, but regardless, it doesn't matter, or if it's not a relationship, this applies to whatever it is that you have been longing for and planning for and wanting. So in your recent past, you have the Princess of Swords, and you have Jupiter. So, in the recent past, it feels as though you have gotten extremely honest with yourself and others. You've been wanting to be more lighthearted and jovial as well. I feel as though sometime a while back you got way too serious and way too mental, way too locked up in your head, too distant in your mind. And in the recent past, you've realized you need more human, you need more humor. You need more humor, joy, generosity, warmth, and honesty in your life. And that goes for yourself towards others, others towards you, and you towards yourself. I feel as though you received a necessary truth recently. This may be a truth that you weren't aware of. This could be a truth involving other people. This could be a truth with yourself. But I feel as though you have become determined to continue to walk the path of experimenting with following your own truth. Okay? So, your best possible outcome is the Six of Swords with Virgo. Whatever it is that you are coming, it feels as though you have had a lot of mental blockages, whether it's internally, just in general with yourself, or with other people. If for some reason some of you have been involved in situations where there's been a lot of mental conflict involving other people or another person, it is entirely possible for this to be resolved. If there has been ongoing verbal battles or fighting or conflicts of interest, something. If there's been something external like that, it is entirely possible for things to either be resolved, or if they can't be resolved, for you to move on from these situations and no longer engage in them or be part of them anymore. How you're going to decide which one it is through Virgo, which is assessment, practical analysis, by looking at the details, the patterns, and by looking at how these things actually function. And so by assessing, by analyzing, and I don't mean necessarily with your mental mind. Virgo is part of the body's wisdom. It's a feminine sign. Your gut knows, your body knows the answer. When you look at how things actually function and work, you can see where the kinks are. You can see where things have broken down or things are no longer functioning as well as they could. This isn't about thinking about things over and over and over and analyzing things to the point where you're completely confused. This is more looking at the logistics, looking at how it's functioning on a practical level and seeing what could be adjusted. And if it can't be fixed, then it's time to move on. And so this is your best possible outcome. The good news about this is that you will be moving on to much more peaceful waters, and things are about to get a lot better with harmony. Either for some of you, you've been in disharmony with others or situations, and others of you may have been in disharmony with yourselves. And so it seems as though things are going to start to make a lot more sense to you. You'll become a lot clearer than you have been, and this is your best possible outcome. Make sure that you take some time out in order to pay attention to your body's signals and what your intuition is telling you. Try not to think in loops. and be ready to eliminate anything that is no longer working. So, pardon me, I'm on the floor. Okay. In your near future, your sense of identity is changing. You have Strength, which is another Leo card you have in here. Both are major arcana Leo cards. And the other one is Pluto, the Lord of the underworld, or the Lord of death, or transformation. What I'm seeing here is that very shortly, I have felt this leading up to this, but I feel as though December is a very important month, especially near the end of December and early January, where you're about to have a huge breakthrough in how you perceive yourself and who you are in general. It feels as though you're going through an extreme transformation of your own ego or your sense of self or your sense of identity. You may be becoming aware that you are capable of things you never thought you were capable of. And again, I'm getting a real emphasis on your heart chakra for this month. For whatever reasons, I'm getting that in the Aquarius collective, you guys have become too distant. And it's time for you to get back in touch with your heart again. And only then will you be able to completely manifest exactly what you want, is when you balance those two parts of yourself. But something about who you thought you were is coming to an end. And it kind of has to, because you've become too crystallized with who you think you are. I'm sorry it comes out sounding like this. You have to pardon me. I'm a Sagittarius rising. I don't mean to offend anybody or hurt anyone's feelings. I'm just telling you what I'm getting. I love you guys very much. You guys are my opposite. And I do have my Scorpio moon in the 11th Aquarian house, so I most definitely understand your energy. I carry some of it myself. So, that aside, speaking of egos, your old sense of self is going to be dying, and a new sense of yourself that is much more expansive and heartfelt is going to be coming into being. This may be that temporarily, in the near future, you go through extreme highs and lows. One minute you feel completely empowered and ready to go and be this new person or new, renewed, fuller version of yourself. But other times you may completely feel like you have no identity at all, or you are no one. One minute you think you're God, pardon me for putting it that way, the next minute you're no one. So this fluctuation I'm getting is going to be quite intense, but it's going to be a short period of time. Maybe at its peak 3 days of going back and forth like this. Feeling worthless one minute and feeling overworthy, or not overworthy. Feeling encouraged extremely, and then the next minute completely discouraged. But the peak of that isn't going to be very long, and after all of that happens, I feel as though you're going to understand yourself very quickly, dramatically, in a much fuller way than before, that includes your passions, dreams, and your heart more, and belief in your own abilities. So if you guys if some of you happen to have a Leo in your life, this Leo is an extremely good influence for you at this time. Even if you're at odds with them, they're still in your life for a reason. So, you right now, this is concerning me. You have the 3 of Swords with Venus. And I'm getting a specific message that for some of you, you are heartbroken, or a relationship didn't work out the way that you thought. I'm feeling for someone watching that you fell in love with someone that you thought was absolutely perfect for you, but it turned out that they're not the type to be serious about a relationship. And so you're sad. For some of you, this could be a partner passed away, or a relationship ended, or someone that you have loved for many years, you finally comprehended that it's never going to happen or work out. Or this could even be just somebody that you love has passed, in either out of this world, as in through death, or out of your life, as in you no longer know each other, or you don't see each other as much as you would like. Or again, this is an emphasis on the heart chakra. The heart chakra is actually ruled by the sun and by the sign Leo. But I'm looking at this picture. She's holding a red rose up to her heart. And someone that she loved is walking away underneath the light post. I don't know if you can see them. Someone is walking away. And her heart hurts. But I'm getting a rather complicated feeling from this, which is that the hurt is painful, but it makes you aware that you have a heart. Or it makes you aware of what love truly is. When your heart feels, sometimes it feels wonderful and sometimes it hurts. But at least something is happening with your heart. And if you have loved and lost and had hurt in your heart, that still means that your heart can love again, and that you can still have that love in your heart, regardless of what you may have lost or felt as though you have lost. For somebody, I hardly ever read this into situations, but in this case I am kind of getting, for someone there may have been a love triangle, or you may have been interested or been with someone who ended up leaving you for someone else. Or you may be torn. Who knows? But in any case, I am getting that you do have a lot of sadness about love or about your heart. Maybe if some of you have closed off your heart chakra and become too distant from your heart, when your heart opens up again, sometimes the pains that have happened in the past get reawakened. Sometimes when people's hearts hurt, they close their hearts off because they don't want to feel the pain. Then they go through life with their heart closed up and unable to truly love completely or show how they feel completely. But if you're on a healing journey and you're opening your heart back up again, all of the pain that got shut off before that never got dealt with, sometimes that comes up right at the very beginning. And so if you can love yourself and reach out to others around you in support, if you can get through that initial pain, eventually it will heal and your heart will be able to shine again. For some reason, I'm getting for you guys, it's like there's a leading up to something, and then there's a quick 3 or 4 day period of hell, and then afterwards you come out glowing or totally transformed. Makes me wonder what the heck is going on with you guys. So in your surroundings, at least you have this. It looks like a lot of you are pretty content with either your financial situation or your existing reality as far as where you live or what you have physically going on in your life. It looks like you're not hurting in that sense. I feel as though a lot of you are having to deal with some hurt in your heart or in your own being, but as far as your external reality goes, it looks pretty nice to me. It's really important to take care of yourself physically in your surroundings, or make sure you're surrounded by beauty. Maybe clean up your house, redecorate, bring some beauty in. If you happen to live in a beautiful place, fully enjoy where you live. Fully enjoy your surroundings. Enjoy the blessings that you do have, and I am getting you have a lot of physical blessings. Or in your surroundings, you may have a person who is the Queen of Pentacles. Doesn't have to be a woman. That is extremely nurturing, grounded, backs you up, is supportive of you, is a soft place to fall when you are in a delicate space. When you are sifting through all of these things, this is someone that you can go sit with her in her beautiful garden and have tea with you, and just simply being around you. Simply by being around you, they feel comfortable, and by being around them, you feel comfortable. Comfortable in your own skin. You are accepted by this person on a very deep level. You do have a lot of support, by the way, and financial abundance for a lot of you, whether you perceive it to be that way or not. So, your hopes are for a happy outcome or a happy ending. Your hopes are for happiness. Your hopes are for joy and happiness, and to value your life, and to feel connected to your heart again, where you realize just how incredibly blessed you really are. If you had happened to forget that. And your general outcome is the Queen of Cups, and with it you have Mercury. So I am getting, you are finally going to be talking about your feelings. You are finally connected enough with your heart and brave enough from that Leo energy to be able to say exactly how you feel. To be able to speak from your heart. To be able to be fully emotionally in touch with yourself, and to be able to show others who you actually are at the very core. This is really surprising to me, but it looks beautiful. It looks like you're going through a huge transformation. So, your best possible outcome is to accept reality for what it is, weed out what no longer works, and resolve. Either resolve conflict with yourself, resolve conflict with others. If you can't resolve an external situation, you need to do some weeding and start fully focusing on moving on to more peaceful waters, or moving on from an old way of thinking. And your general outcome is to finally speak about your feelings. It may be for somebody that you're in a relationship where it's at a shifting point, and you're not sure if the relationship is going to survive or not. But what I'm getting is, if you speak about your feelings and just lay yourself bare. I'm not getting that you have anybody dangerous in your surroundings to worry about. So the only thing that you might worry about is heartbreak. But regardless, if something doesn't happen and you're heartbroken over it, there's nothing you can really do about that. But I am getting, if you speak about your feelings and lay yourself bare, it has the potential to change things for the better, and to either allow things to move forward in a much better way than before, or to move away from troubled waters. I guess if you spoke up about how you feel, and if the person rejected you, then you would know for sure that it's time to move on. But if you're not brave enough to speak about your feelings, you'll never really know. You have to know one way or the other. So, and that aside, if this has nothing to do with relationships, it's just saying your best possible outcome is to move on and to get much more practical about the situations that you are in. as far as what needs to be adjusted. And your general outcome is to honor your own feelings and actually speak about them or communicate about them. Or to communicate to someone who is very empathic, sensitive, and such a beautiful soul that really cares about you. You may need to bring somebody else a message. Okay, well, hopefully that made sense or helped in some way. And happy holidays. Happy winter solstice. I love you guys. I wish you all the best. This reading is amazing, you guys. Hopefully this made sense to you. Alrighty, I'll see you soon.